Hmm. All right. To anyone tuning in right now or watching later on, and you made it to this point, something like, what is this? 10 minutes into this of silence and me sketching, I just started off with some simple warm ups up here, right? Drawing the same sort of basic shape, but then starting to try and like do some operations to it where it curves. Then I took that simple and also not just basic, but in this instance, flat shape. Then I took that flat shape and I made it into a cylinder and I tried to perform the same operations that I did to the first set up there. Again, we'll call this like a just a little curve of that center line, right, a U-turn for this one, vertical U-turn, and then also turn on its side for the similar thing there. And then I took that basic cylinder and I made this organic shape. Organic because it doesn't have like a specific reference of what's it's coming after. But we can see it's definitely wider in the middle and narrower at the ends there. And one more time, I performed all those operations again. I was just doing this for fun. I really didn't know what I was going to do when I started this, but it was to, again, do these soil warm-ups, do these organic forms, get used to using the iPad again in sketching. And now I'm going to try and do some more complicated forms for fun, see what comes out of it. Again, no real goal in mind, just some cool form exploration. Might even do some. Oops, don't want that color there. Might even end up doing, we're in the right layer, yes. Some lighting on some of these, but those were just the starting points for, again, doing something slightly more complex right now. So even now I'm starting to do some shaping here. It's very loose. Shaping of these forms with some various cross sections there. And then put the pen on that. And, maybe I will start even on this one. I'll make another marker layer value on there. Foreshadow right here. Light just coming from the top for this. And also getting some highlight in there just with the pencil. To get that form to read. But there's kind of a cool thing happening down here by accident with the way I did the marker. Or what if this, using a pencil there. Where, what if I take this and cut it in a little bit right there. So there's a little cutout right there. So with that in mind, I'll come back to my highlight layer, grab the pencil, and put just a little bit of highlight right there. It's underneath it, so technically, if the light's coming from the top, we wouldn't see anything there. But we can cheat this right now, just as I'm exploring form for fun. To the marker layer, make sure I'm dark right there and make that a bit darker. There. Make that a bit darker in there for the core shadow. We could definitely have used like a soft brush. Of that form to read. And while we're at it, We can even come in here with the chisel back to this marker layer and drop down a shadow on the ground there. Even take that shadow, outline it, go back to our marker, drop it to the same value, and fill it in there a little bit more evenly. There's just some random form. Now, let's keep going. Oh, I put that on that marker layer. Oh well. So what other formats we want to do here? That's too dark. Put down like 10%. And whatever this like super wide base is in there. Add some little hump right here. Maybe a little more round to the front as it tapers to the back there. Maybe something on the other side, right about there. What else can we do here? We can maybe make this thing come to a little bit more of a point in the front. Maybe give like some sort of fin like thing right here that's just flat. Maybe there's some sort of water skimmer. Got this big opening down at the bottom. Let's maybe just kind of open that up. The whole intake. That's good enough. Let's do that in pen. This form so it looks like. I won't forget the intake on the bottom. I don't really like that. Now you can come, to, yeah, maybe we'll keep that there at the bottom. One more time. Some light started coming, but this time let's just start off with the soft brush. A little smaller for the core shadow. The side there, core shadow. here. So definitely everything down below would be in shadow. So I'll probably cheat some of that a little bit later. Little softer touch right here, because that's not facing us directly up. Some of the rest of it there. Back in into the pencil for like the highlight layer. And again, little cheats just for the vent in there, even though light would actually no light would actually be down there. Light's just coming from the top. But let's go back and make that area just some of it just a bit darker. That's in there. Also, I'm gonna have just a little bit of cast shadow here in this shape on itself. So add that in there. From other random shape. So I'm just doing some complete random shapes here. Let's do, before we do anything else, just do a few quick little thumbnails. Oh, I did that on the highlight layer too. Oh well. So some of my layers I keep losing track. Chisel tip, lighter, do three little side views in here. Again, just some random kind of organic things. Now let's come up with a theme. What is the theme for these? Digital metal, exact, dark, capture, exploration, internal. Not bloated, spicy. So I'm gonna do some quick designs based off the theme of spicy. And of course, that makes me think of like a pepper. Uh, I love having ginger. That can also be spicy. Is the shape of ginger that's spicy? No. When I think of like either a pepper or ginger, right, and spice, I think of kind of very angular things because there's that like this that sharpness in your mouth. Um, but there was like a softness too because you eat the thing and then you get that sharpness. So does that sharpness break up that softness? Um, I talked about my mouth, so I think about like the sharpness happening inside of something that is a bit softer and more organic. What else about spicy? It lingers. It stays for a long time. So how something that stays for a long time. Well, I just want to think about time, but that's staying there, right? So wherever it is just there. So it's like a softness, the softness maybe being in your mouth, in your stomach, and the sharp thing sort of staying there for a long time. So these are some ideas and some like quick little 2D graphics trying to mix these ideas together. So now we can do some forms that match that. So again, I've been doing some kind of organic forms already, but we talked about again having some like sort of sharpness on there. So some very angular forms on top of some very soft forms. I like this sort of organic shape just because of what I've been doing organic shapes, but maybe with like a almost like a sharp cutout inside of it. Seems like that could be interesting. Maybe there could be something where, ooh, I like just a little more space for sketches. There's something where there's like a nice like crease that softens up as the spiciness diminishes in there. All right, so I'm gonna have to pick from one of those three little sketches there. My larger sketch, but let's figure out in pen more. Looks like I kind of like what's happening with this one. Well, definitely more than the first one, that's for sure. Maybe something's interesting happening here too. Goes from soft to or sharp to round. So 1, 2, 3. If I can only pick one, uh, I guess I like 3 the most. So 3 is the one that's going to get a larger sketch. Try it out. Kind of soft on the top. And maybe ends soft on the top, starts being sharp right here. So maybe a little bit more of a crease happening here, transitioning into some very angular edges at the back of the form here. Enough space to try another sketch out here, but let's put this one in. Oh, I did that on the pen layer. Let's take that off. Paste. Put it on the marker. and go back to the pen. Sketching that. So this form. Sharp, angular, at the back here. And I see need some, definitely need some refinement there. But I am happy with that idea. We'll just go for some highlights on this one. Right, the surfaces are sort of facing up. I guess I'm not just doing highlights. So put some shadows in. Again, just a little more space for at least one more little sketch of this thing from a slightly different view. Maybe what does it look like from the back. Opportunity to do some little redesigns here. And so not the exact same design, but throw in some ideas of how to make this transition between sharp and soft a little smoother, not so abrupt. We'll go in and try and throw a little bit of soft brush in there. Then the back side. Not too big. Race that out for a hard edge right there. All right, there's my spicy form. Only, whoa, 40 minutes. All right. Have a good day.